Hello, so my name is Hannah Kurse, and I'm sure most of you have heard of a little thing called global warming. If you don't know what global warming is, essentially it is defined as a gradual increase in the overall temperature of the Earth's atmosphere, genuinely attributed to the greenhouse effect caused by increased levels of carbon dioxide, chlorofluorocarbons, and other pollutants. Now, if that seemed a little complicated, well, that's because it is. Global warming is talking about the rise in the Earth's temperature and the effects that relate to it. And NASA scientists reported that human-made carbon dioxide, also known as CO2, continues to increase above levels that have not been seen for hundreds of thousands of years. Global warming, or also known as climate change, is a very prevalent problem because it is growing exponentially. We have all heard about the carbon footprint and what you can do to decrease it, such as riding your bike to school, brushing your teeth without the water running, taking shorter showers, carpooling, bringing reusable bags to the grocery store, not using styrofoam, unplugging cords from their outlets, turning off the lights when you leave a room, etc., etc., etc. The list is endless, but what you may not know is the less common, less publicized, leading cause of CO2 emissions in the atmosphere: animal agriculture. And some of you may know what this is and understand its impact on the environment. Some of you may know what this is and not understand its impact on the environment. And some of you may have no idea what I'm talking about. But that is why I am here, because today I'm going to tell you all about it. Animal agriculture, or also known as animal husbandry, is the raising and breeding of livestock in order to receive commodities such as meat, milk, and eggs. Currently, as a society, we eat 50% more meat than we did in the 50s. That is because meat has changed from a nice side dish to the main course of almost every meal. Because we have made meat much more common and normalized, we have had to continuously produce more meat in order to keep up with our ever-growing population. And now, animal agriculture produces 20% of all greenhouse gas emissions in the environment, which is more than all modes of transportation combined. This is how what we eat is killing the environment. Not only is the emissions for agriculture extremely high, but they are projected to increase by 80% by the time we reach 2050. Cows alone produce approximately 150 billion gallons of methane per day. Our meat consumption is so high that livestock covers 45% of the Earth's total land, also causing up to 91% of Amazon destruction. And every minute, 7 million pounds of excrement are produced by animals raised for food in the US. A farm with 2,500 dairy cows will produce the same amount of waste as a city of 411,000 people. And annually, the meat industry has 1.4 billion tons of waste. The destruction of the planet does not only occur on land, but also in our oceans. Over 90 million tons of fish are pulled out of the ocean annually, and for every 1 pound of fish caught, up to 5 pounds of unintended marine species are caught and discarded as bykill, which could potentially lead us to a fishless ocean in the year 2048. Another big issue comes from the waste of our water. Animal agriculture water consumption ranges from 34 to 76 trillion gallons of water annually and accounts for approximately 80 to 90% of all US water consumption. 2,500 gallons of water is used to just produce 1 pound of beef, and producing beef uses 100 times the amount of water that vegetables do. Animal byproducts require less water but are still much higher than plant-based foods. 477 gallons are necessary for a pound of eggs, almost 900 for a pound of cheese, and 1,000 for a gallon of milk. In California, we use approximately 1,500 gallons of water per day, and half of that goes to meat and dairy. Some of the most alarming facts come from the fact that worldwide, 50% of our grain is fed to our livestock, and 80% of our antibiotics sold in the US are for the livestock. We kill more than 6 million animals for food every day, making it 70 billion annually worldwide. I hope some of these facts have helped show you how we are not living sustainable lives and our habits are ruining the health of our environment. So I hope you're asking yourself, how can I help? The best way to help is to adapt a better lifestyle. In 1 year, the land required to feed someone who is vegan is 1/6 of an acre. For a vegetarian, it is 3 times that. For a meat eater, it is 18 times that. 1.5 acres produces 37,000 pounds of plant-based food, while 1.5 acres only produces 375 pounds of meat. A person who follows a vegan diet produces the equivalent of 50% less carbon dioxide, 1/11th oil, 1/13th water, and 1/18th land compared to a meat eater. Most people either think you can only be a vegetarian or a meat eater, and converting to a lifestyle free of meat is just too hard. So most people just continue on the way they are. But what is important is to try and make the way you live more sustainable by eating less meat. You do not have to live a life free of meat, but you just have to live a conscious life, understanding what you're putting into your body and the effects it has on the environment. Living sustainably is not about giving up something you love. It is about making a conscious effort to cut back on things that are hurting our environment. We need to make a change for the greater good because there is no planet B.